Welcome to my sideshow. I'm going to set up a patch. I got a lot of questions about me and patches, and people always questioning why I do what I do because it looks alien to them. It's really borderline genius. Step 1. Decide what shape you want your patch to be. I'm going with a good old-fashioned circle that, yes, I'll be taking it from the library. I like to make my patches a good 3 inches in circumference. 3 inches is what I like to work with. If you've been here before, this is gonna sound oddly familiar. First step, placement stitch. Look, I'll even type it so we can keep track. Step 2, make 3 copies of this placement stitch. Don't ask questions, just do it. They're all literally going to be a different color. If you want to set up a patch like me, you got to trust the process. The third one, I'm going to make it be bigger. So this is how I like to do things. Step 1 tells me where I need to put my patch twill or whatever it is I'm using. Step 2 is going to then sew that fabric down to the stabilizer in place. It will tack it down. Now this is a third step. This is what makes me different from a lot of people. I like to have a second tack down around the outer edge. I do not do the applique style patch making, okay? But people love how my patches come out, and I get so many questions about how do I get my satins to look so beautiful? How do I get the results that I get? Honey, it's this outer stitch, okay? It's creating 2 barriers for me to secure my fabric to alleviate any type of pulling or any distortion of my fabric. Also, this is really helpful because if I put, say, 10 of these on a hoop, this extra ring is an extra wall that will keep it from actually shifting the goodies that are going to be inside my patch from getting distorted or off-centered in any kind of way, because it's got to go through 2 tack downs in order to pull the middle. So I do 2 walls, 2 rings of protection. And the last one is going to be my satin border. Why am I doing these 3 things first? That's because you need to know how thick your satin border is going to be. So that way, when you actually start working on the goodies and the artwork that's actually inside, you know, the graphics, the text, whatever it is you're using on your patch, you need to know the bounds that you have to work in them. I don't want my letters to go too far. Say I'm arching them. I don't want the satins to touch each other. I want to make sure that I know where my negative space is. So this is why I do what I do. Your satin border has a thickness to it. It's going to take up space, and it's going to take up a little bit of space inside your patch. So we need to know what space we have left to work with. Best way to do that, set up your satin border first. Always make sure you save your work, all right? Save it. Name it as something you're going to remember. I don't care how obvious or how obscure or weird, as long as you remember what it is so you can find it later. Give it a name that's memorable. All right, at this point, I'm bringing in my image. Could you have brought in your image before now? Yes. All that's left for me to do now is to fit it so it works. So now I will put it where I want it to be, because notice I'm also accounting for the fact that this will come down a little bit. Once I have it where I like it, I will lock it in place, and all that's left to do now is to digitize all the goodies, so all the nice detail, and then when I'm done, I'll just make sure that I move and rearrange all my steps. So I like to put my satin border at the end of the line, so it'll be the last thing that happens for this patch. If you are interested in purchasing Stitch Artist for yourself or anything from embrilliance.com, I would greatly appreciate it if you helped a girl out and used my affiliate link. If you would like to learn how to use Stitch Artist, I, Drea, do offer personalized one-on-one virtual sessions that can be booked on my website. You could get started on your digitizing journey as soon as today.